The fuck is whatever else, Mark? Fuck off. No, there's no microphone die. I know what you mean. Fuck is whatever else. Whatever else needs clean. Okay, let me just delete characters real quick. I'll fix everything. There we go. Everything's gone. Quickest cleaning ever. Hey, you want everything gone? That's the fastest way. Just delete the entire thing. This is so much worse than I think it is, isn't it? How did these get 99? Oh my god. This doesn't show engram. Why does this exist if they don't bother putting half the engrams here? They make something, they forget to put shit on it, and then they wonder why we complain about it. Well, I'll do that at the end, in case I have to do something which involves picking stuff up and we don't want to destroy postmasters instantly from it. I don't know why I'm bothering to change this, but I am, okay? I'm probably not going to be running around too much. Probably. Alright, let's just make sure this is okay since you've been playing on this real quick. Oh, why are these in here? $44. 45. Christ. Where else has got stuff that I probably... Oh, I bet. Where else is shit? I'm telling you, there's shit in places that's not on this fucking thing. It pisses me off. Like, just full on annoys the shit out of me. Why does this even exist if engram tracker if it doesn't track all the goddamn fucking engrams? I guarantee there's some fucking Hawthorne. You've got a fucking thing that's supposed to be handed in that's pissing it off. Why is this bitch flashing? What do you want, bitch? Is there a thing? You want a thing? There is a thing. Get in the thing. Why does this exist? Get in the thing. More?
Please keep your hands clear of the apparatus.
Okay, whatever. Stop flashing.
I'll have to fix your mess.
Okay, I don't even... Mark, what is this?
Hey kid, looking good.
Why is everybody... Why are you even flashing? Why do you have a shader? Just reasons why I don't want to ever fucking die in a fire gambit. He's still flashing. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. There's probably something I can't pick up that I something's full that I don't care about. Okay. Any bets on how many fucking engrams have managed to go here?
Same thing. You gonna hang out with your clan today?
Look at that. Really? I'll pick that up yet. Oh, I can. I can just... What I'll do is I'll get rid of it. We've got plenty to fill its space, I promise you.
Catch you later.
There's like 30 engrams there too, by the way.
Sorry, I'm late.
Okay.
They're not listed. God knows where else there is stuff. Okay, so what do you want me to do? I'll have to just run around and complain about the game. Specifics.
Guardian.
Were you even listed? Fucking 99 engrams fucking here. My god, they're not listed. Yeah, they are. Okay, never mind. I lied. Failsafe has fucking 99. It's 100, 200, 300. Like fucking 400 engrams here at least.
I wonder. Can I data? Let's
Tell me
see
you
what
have
we've got
engrams.
for each other.
They listed. Gunsmith? Gunsmith. Oh. Cryptarch?
Ah, shall we begin then?
Cryptarch? No, they're not listed. Good job, Bungie.
A transaction to
Alright,
make.
get rid of
Guardian?
1 engram now. And it's 64 stats, and now it's going in the bin.
I must admit, Guardian, I'm very curious to see.
Okay. I don't know why you have so many fucking engrams.
Done. Check.
A yellow one staying in here.
Done. Ready to check.
It's staying.
A transaction to make, Guardian?
Weekly limits reached on those. How many of these do you have? 51 prisms. We're back to 20 alloys. It's probably fine. Don't need this. Don't know why we have it. They just keep coming back. These annoy me too, by the way. I know the armor involved. I'm gonna skim over the armor probably because it's not that big a deal. Buy these because they're worth buying the like 3 of them. Not worth buying those. Okay. Let's see if there's something we can use engrams for in the meantime. Because there's in some of these cases there are weapons we can get. Some of these cases. Obviously, I'm not going to do this. We'll just keep a hold of the Nightfall tokens for now. Unlocking collections to buy. How have you not unlocked something? Want to explain that? Does it randomly drop? Find out. God damn it. Neither do I. Clicking engram till it shows up. We're getting origin stories anyway, so... No. We already have one here. Positive Outlook's another gun that's worth a look sometimes. If it gets the right roll. Especially if it gets like triple rolls, by the way. I'm just... Can armor come out of this? Because there doesn't seem to be any armor dropping from this. I'm just... like, pointing it out. These only seem to be weapons. If that's the case, how... Wait... Huh? Attunement. Hold on. No, that's just this, isn't it? Yeah. Focus decoding. Unlock this up. Unlock this item in collections to purchase. From where? Where did this come from? Where? You can buy all the old armors. Yeah, that makes sense. No armor seems to drop, by the way. Just a note. I should probably deal with the gunsmith first. I'm deleting so much shit, it's probably prudent I do that, because it's probably leveling it. Alright, we'll go deal with the gunsmith. We'll come back to this while I figure out what's going on. Gunsmith's at 99. What's his focus decoding? And then what's on the second page? Definitely something we need, but not right now. Any of these worth decoding focused for? Not really. Okay, don't give a shit. I was looking to see if any of the weapons were worth a damn. They are not. There's weapons that are worth it sometimes, right? And then there's these. But it's always worth taking a look just in case, right? But there's nothing there we can't just, like... This is what crafting... Like, this is one of the reasons, like, a lot of the weapons aren't going to be craftable outside of, next season, outside of the raid ones. Because they just eliminate the need to go for random rolls on other weapons. Almost. Like, why get an SMG when you can use other shit, you know? This is something that's worth looking at occasionally. I only say that loosely because it can have a certain role that I've seen that you can't get on other fusion rifles. But other than that, I'd still fucking just erase the rest of this shit. And the only reason to erase all this is you get enhancement cores, pretty much. We used to get legendary shards. We used to collect so many legendary shards, our legendary shards would explode. Now we can't even do that. Bungie took away our number go higher. We liked our number go higher. Which means Bungie, you assholes. Might keep an eye on that Typhoon in case something drops that's useful. There's a number of stasis weapons that should be slightly on the radar just in case, which are random rolled. There's a stasis SMG, for example, which is a really rare drop from places. These multi... No, they're not. So gotta keep an eye on stuff like that, if you know what I mean, Mark. But stuff like this thing, I mean, this thing's just dog meat anyway. I have a feeling, though, most stuff is going to be surpassed by stuff that drops next season anyway. When it comes weapon-wise, there's a bunch of new perks on some of the new guns. And there's going to be a lot of stasis-focused guns in that as well. So there's a limited amount of guns we even give a shit about anyway that probably won't just be replaced by something next season. In that slot. Cross made a video on a bunch of stasis weapons. I don't know if you saw it. I didn't. But I know he made it. I can put it on in the background, I guess. Hang on. Into Chrome tab. Where is it? Revenant weapons? No. See, this is it. It doesn't show all his videos when you do this. Just go to his fucking channel. Where is it?
How much
Videos. Every weapon you need for Revenant's released next week. Yeah, whatever.
I like the new arrival.
Oh, I'm gonna say hello.
Yes, hello.
See what Cross is wrong about.
Alright, I'm Trevor.
From everything.
In my opinion, guys, one of the
pin this on
factors
top.
that influences a season's meta is the artifact. Hell, think back when we had particle deconstruction. Fusion rifles became meta overnight. Now, we ourselves have gotten to see the artifact mods for next week's episode, Revenant. Bungie also revealed it in the reveal stream, and we went over just about all of them except for 2, which we're going to be talking about in today's video. So think of this video as a brief overview of those artifact mods, but also a call out to weapons that we believe are going to be meta with Revenant's artifact. Timestamps.
Give me a sec. No, I don't want that. Cancel. Application capture. Try window capture. Okay. Now can I do this? It's gonna obscure your view, but it's not gonna obscure mine to get fucked. What is this? I don't want this. Go away. Alright, does this work?
down below, guys, if you already know what the artifact does. But for the quick overview, first column, we have anti-barrier scout
Now I
rifle,
can't see
overload
what you're
submachine gun, unstoppable pulse rifle, anti-barrier shotgun, which is why
Maybe.
an overload breach load grenade launcher, which is going to be beautiful with Witherhorde. Now for our second column, we have one with Frost, Killing Breeze, Enhanced Ether Generator, Fell the Revenants, and Rapid Impacts. Now we've already gone through each one of these already, but these are your classic artifact mods that lean into those origin traits. We also have one that leans into Shade Stalker armor, literally giving us increased damage against Scorn when wearing 4 pieces of armor, and the Rapid Impacts
I'm still
increasing the
doing my
reload
thing, by the
speed
way. You
of
just can't
grenade
see
launchers. For our third column, we have Wind Chill, Crystalline Converter, Total Carnage, Power from the Pain, and Trace Evidence. Lots of great stuff here, guys. And again, all of these have boosts. These boosts are like secondary traits found on these artifact mods. And you get these boosts by consuming potions with Ida. Now, I'm sure some of you are noticing the theme here from the stasis weapons, granting you frost armor with Wind Chill, from Crystalline Converter, where your melee hits create stasis crystals, each of these having boosts. Total Carnage, which is going to be an interesting one that we're going to cover in our builds, leans into those finisher builds. Power from the Pain allows you to gain Devour simply by getting rapid final blows against weakened combatants. And then Trace Evidence. Here we start to see some things leaning into Arc. Rapid precision hits or rapid final blows on targets affected by Jolt, or
There's
Blind,
some
who
Arc
generates
stuff in there,
Onyx
as you can
traces.
see.
Now for our fourth column, we have Armor of Aramis. We also have Hail the Storm, Debilitating Wave,
It is
Concussive
mostly stasis,
Reload,
though.
which is essentially Breach and Clear, and Retinal Burn. Lots of stasis synergy here. Debilitating Wave, another good artifact mod to lean into those finisher builds. Concussive Reload was always a good one for grenade launchers, as it essentially applies weaken on bosses, champions, or when you break a combatant shield. And the Retinal Burn, leaning into arc weapons, allowing your arc precision hits to consume an armor charge and blind targets. Now our fifth column, the 2 artifact mods that we missed the other day include Brain Freeze and Supernova. Brain Freeze states that frozen combatants become surrounded by chilling fog, which slows combatants that aren't already
sounds
slowed.
interesting.
Weapons with Dark Ether Reaper origin perk deal more damage to frozen combatants. Now Supernova states that picking up a Void Breach causes your next source of void damage to create a large weakening pulse. Now if you saw the other day when we were showing off the new exotic there for Warlocks, Brain Freeze is going to be so good with that exotic, considering that's such a lockdown exotic and you're literally freezing everything. But pretty much every other exotic is going to be perfect for this as well. Now Supernova, I haven't got to try it out yet. That one's an interesting one because it creates a large weakening pulse simply by picking up a Void Breach, which is going to be very easy considering the other artifact mods that we have seen. Now our other artifact mods in this column include Conductive Cosmic Crystal, Served Cold, and Kinetic Impacts. Now Kinetic Impacts is literally like kinetic tremors, where sustained damage with the grenade launcher causes the
grenade
target to
launcher.
emit shock waves that damages nearby targets. Served Cold gives you benefits for either picking up stasis shards or picking up void breaches. The Conductive Cosmic Crystal really leans into your arc and void abilities in any weapons with your Dark Ether Reaper origin perk. They essentially do bonus damage to targets that are affected by a stasis debuff. This of course is going to stack with Brain Freeze even further, considering that weapons with Dark Ether already deal more damage to frozen combatants. So coming off the mods, there are 2 main themes: stasis and grenade launchers, with a splash of void and arc in there too, which takes us to our list of weapons we believe are going to be very potent with this lineup of artifact mods. The first weapon that really jumped out to us is of course Anarchy.
Anarchy
may be
is
insane
back.
next season. You've got Kinetic Impacts and Concussive Reload. These mods will allow Anarchy to stun unstoppable champions, weaken them, and even tack on more sustained damage. You see, that sustained damage requirement is something that Anarchy could easily fill. And I don't know what the cooldown of this is going to be, if there even is going to be a cooldown. Most likely there will be, but considering the duration of Anarchy and the tick damage that it does, I can't help fantasizing about placing 2 Anarchy shots on a high health target, then walking away and watching them as they get hit with Anarchy's tick damage, the weaken effect, the kinetic tremor damage, and any ads that actually get close to that target, they also get killed.
Anarchy's also
It was
arc,
as
by
if
the
Bungie
way.
was targeting Anarchy with this lineup of artifact mods. Now the next weapon I want you to consider is Salvation's Grip. Now I know many people not that crazy about it. I personally love it because well, it's cool and it got a rework. It's a stasis weapon. It's essentially a wave frame, but it lays down these stasis crystals.
Oh, I
And
didn't
it
even know
has
this thing could be
massive
reworked.
stasis synergy. This exotic takes advantage of so much. From the bottom up, it's going to make use of rapid impacts for that faster reload. It's going to dip into Hell the Storm for the more damage from its crystals. Brain Freeze is also going to proc here. Conductive Cosmic Crystal for that extra damage on abilities. And then lastly, Kinetic Impacts itself. Keep in mind, Salvation's Grip already stuns unstoppable champions. So it's going to be able to dip both on the unstoppable front and on the overload.
Okay, maybe Salvation Script might be worth a look. I didn't know it actually being touched. Not that anyone gives a shit about it, but maybe. We'll see.
Front. The question I have is that crystal shatter damage going to count as sustained damage? Which almost sounds too good to be true. Can you imagine the stasis crystal shattering? It somehow procs kinetic impacts, which would then release another wave of AoE damage, shattering even more stasis crystals. And as someone who has used Salvation's Grip in all in-game content, I would love to see this kind of synergy. Now the next weapon on the list, Agger's Scepter. Ah yes,
Yeah, the freeze trace
exotic
rifle.
that gave me more hell than any other exotic in the game. This weapon, though, does everything. It comes with Agger's Call, refining blows with this weapon, generating a slowing burst around the defeated targets. It's got an exotic catalyst that's an alternate weapon action which drains your super energy, overflows the magazine, and empowers the beam with bonus damage. Also giving you the ability to slow and freeze targets until the magazine or super energy runs out or the weapon is stowed. The only downside to Agger's Scepter is that, well, it's a trace rifle. And DPS-wise, trace rifles are a bit lacking. Agger's Scepter,
Terrible is the
though,
word
and
you're
its
looking for.
catalyst really does amp this weapon up enough to compete. And the synergy it's gonna have here with artifact mods are amazing. Everything from Wind Chill for those easy frost armor stacks, Brain Freeze for even more AoE slow, although it probably doesn't need it. Conductive Cosmic Crystal for that increased ability damage. You can even make use of Hell the Storm. I truly believe that there is gonna be a moment in this episode where we're gonna say, hey, Prismatic is great, but I think I'm gonna start singling out a stasis only build for that full synergy. Now our next stasis exotic that I truly feel deserves a spot here is Wicked Implement. Now this is historically an
This,
In a world
fucking
ravaged by a
good.
mysterious villain and his terrifying goons, the fate of its citizens rests in the
unpopular weapon to run. It behaves very similar to Agger's Scepter with the ability to slow and freeze on demand. It arguably has even easier access since you don't need to burn your super for maximum performance. This exotic also spawns stasis crystals with no investment,
It's
allowing
not
everyone to benefit
terrible.
from Crystalline Converter and Served Cold for spawning stasis crystals with our melees and giving us some class energy. Then as a scout rifle and a precision weapon, it'll have the ability to counter all three champions. This is thanks to Anti-Barrier Scout plus the slow and freeze. It'll also benefit from Wind Chill for that extra survivability
I guess there
since
is
it hits crits
Anti-Barrier
very
Scout.
easily. It'll take advantage of the same lineup that Agger's does, from Brain Freeze to Conductive Cosmic Crystal, Hell the Storm, although I will say in Wicked's case, it doesn't really need any of these boosts since it naturally spawns stasis crystals. The point is that Wicked
Stasis
Implement,
crystals
despite
better
it
than
collecting
less.
dust for many of you, is going to be worth a second look in this next episode. Now our next weapon on here is a bit of a weird one, Divinity. Divinity
Why?
is an arc weapon that applies a similar debuff to Weaken, and it's all about hitting crits. Now the reason why we're looking at Divinity is that specifically it will be able to benefit from Retinal Burn, allowing it to stun Overload champions and Unstoppables simultaneously. It should also interface with Trace Evidence to spawn in Onyx Traces. If these artifact perks consider Divinity's Weaken as true Weaken, then we also may be able to use things like Power from Pain to have Infinite Devour. Listen, I know Divinity has kind of fallen from grace for a lot of people outside of a few niche scenarios, but the ability to intrinsically stun Overload champions on top of the debuff and the easy crit spots, we're at least gonna see how Divinity works in this environment. Now with some more stasis investments, we gotta talk about Conditional Finality. This exotic shotgun will directly interface with our stasis perks on that first shot, and then it's gonna be able to stun both Unstoppables from Shatter alongside Ignitions, then Anti-Barriers with Anti-Barrier Shotgun.
Yeah, like
Currently
this
right
thing
now,
needs a
Conditional
buff.
Finality performs quite well in PvE, and this artifact is gonna make it even more viable. I know a lot of people look at this shotgun as more of a PvP shotgun, and don't get me wrong, it's fantastic for PvP.
Cross is missing something important here, by the way. They're buffing shotgun range in PvE. Right? He hasn't mentioned it, but this includes this shotgun. So, that was annoying. So they're buffing that. That is something they're doing. So that is something.
PvP, but for my PvE players, you may want to consider it. Now back to some Arc exotics. I think Prospector is going to be a dark horse here for a number of reasons. Alongside the grenade launcher perks for weaken and extra damage, Prospector is having a change where it now spawns 3 powerful cluster bombs.
Oh yeah, they're
detonation,
buffing this
dealing
thing, aren't they?
substantially more damage per shot. They're also removing the remote detonation, making it deal its damage up front. Now this weapon wasn't the worst by any means. It also has built-in chain reaction. Guys, with the changes hitting Prospector, even though it's been looked at as a DPS option for damage phases, Prospector is about to clear entire rooms. Again, I know these are all changes listed on paper. So far, things are looking very good for this weapon. Now, another arc heavy that I myself have come out and said would never be meta. And listen, I don't want you to believe I'm saying it's going to be meta now, but Darcy may actually see some use. You see, this exotic has the ability to apply Jolt intrinsically. This means that its main perks will directly interface
When did
with
they
Random
change
Burn,
that?
as well as trace evidence. Now, the synergy is going to be there. Is the damage, though? Guys, we might be in a scenario in which Darcy might be worth your consideration. With the buffs that are coming to sniper rifles, including a damage increase to minors by 60%, majors by 75%, mini bosses by 35%, and champions by 25%, sniper rifles are a weapon type folks are going to have to consider. And with the ability
Because
to apply
anytime
Jolt to
Darcy
targets, dealing
becomes
AoE
better,
damage,
Whisper
that extra
just
splash
shits
damage
all
will
over
tag
its
up
parade.
minors extra hard with that 60% damage buff. Now, I still maintain that eventually Darcy needs to get looked at and potentially moved to a special weapon instead of a heavy. Now, our next weapon on the list is one that was one of my favorite when synergizing with Arc, that being Delicate Tune. This super unique Arc fusion rifle is all about ionic traces, as well as jolting. This is actually a very forgotten fusion rifle, and it's so unique, with the ability to shoot bolts horizontally, changing up your shooting patterns when aiming down sights. When we start to synergize it with our artifact mods, more specifically Trace Evidence, to get even more ionic traces to spawn, which
Most of
directly
this is just exotics
synergizes
that we
with
have
Delicate
anyway.
Tune. You see, collecting an ionic trace overcharges the weapon's next
And we can
shot,
just pull from
allowing you
collection
to
if we
jolt
don't.
targets on hit. So again, the more ionic traces you get here, the better, which is exactly what
Alright.
we're going to be getting from the artifact mods. Now for our last special arc weapon, this one is actually getting direct focus in Revenant, that being Exdirus. Fellas, this one is looking hot. We've got some big buffs
Exdirus might
coming
be
in the
looking
shape
at
of a
buffing this
33% damage increase to direct hits, a more intuitive projectile, making it easier to land your shots, and the
hold on,
ability
armor.
to spawn moss off of 2 direct
that what
hits.
you
Let me just say
needed?
Exdirus is such a good grenade launcher. It's exotic catalyst, which gives you Berserk Rush, essentially enraging the weapon
Yeah,
while
it
your
was.
character
Okay,
is
finally,
amplified.
it did
Landing
drop.
final blows of the weapon creates a loyal moth, which will then seek out nearby targets, detonate, damage, and even blind them. And you can shoot this weapon in full auto.
We
It
could
is
focus
essentially
a few
the
of these,
same
maybe.
exact shooting pattern that our Hive 9 boomers also use. What's so beautiful about this change, though, is of course the improvement to its consistency. The ability to create moss off of 2 direct hits and not have to land that final blow. At base, this exotic is looking really good. Then when we sprinkle in things like Trace Evidence and Concussive Reload, Exteriors is going to be able to spawn in on traces, it's going to be able to weaken, and your moss that you're spawning in are going to be able to take full advantage of those things. Now on to some primary weapons. One I'm going to be looking at, guys, even though we just came out of a few artifact mods that were very good for auto rifles, I'm still going to be looking at Centrifuge. You see, as a precision weapon,
Arc.
Centrifuge can
Of course
double
you
dip
are.
into both blinds on sustained damage and kills thanks to Random Burn. Centrifuge can also start building into ionic traces with Trace Evidence for even more arc synergy. I'm not saying Centrifuge is going to be meta, but it does have the synergy there. Now, personally, the arc primary weapon that I think is going to be worth a second look at is Symmetry, a scout rifle that I know many have forgotten about. A couple reasons why Symmetry is
that
looking pretty
exists
good.
still.
First, we have anti-barrier scout rifle for this season. We also have Trace Evidence, which is going to synergize here,
Jesus
as well as
Christ,
Random
number of
Burn,
perks on
and then
this.
also the upcoming buff to Symmetry's ease of use. Essentially, Bungie is making the change where it now gains a stack of dynamic charge on kills in addition to precision hits. Guys, I want Symmetry to be meta. I know I'm biased right now, but I would love a scenario in which I'm like, yo guys, break out thy symmetries. Let's start! Now our last arc weapon on the list is one you have to respect, Ardiro Acreus. This heavy shotgun doesn't necessarily have much artifact
shotgun
synergy
buffs are
besides
coming, I
anti-barrier
guess.
shotgun, but it is a very good option. And considering we don't have anti-barrier shotgun come around very often, I want to use Acreus. Considering this weapon is going to be constantly overcharged, building into that damage, proccing Trench Barrel with his exotic catalyst, there are ways in which you're going to be able to synergize with Legend of Acreus to get the
And the
most
range
out of this
buff in
weapon.
PvE.
We've utilized it still, even in the current sandbox. box. But the artifact mods we have here in front of us are only going to amplify it more. Now onto our last exotics that I would recommend for Revenants. We have 2 breach load grenade launchers. The first being Witherhoard. This is still a great exotic despite it not being too popular right now. Considering you're going to have access to Weaken on Demand and Anti-Overload, Witherhoard is going to absolutely see a surge in use. At the end of the day, Witherhoard is a weapon that you can fire and forget about. It can tack on extra damage against heavy health targets. It can continue to clear ads and lock down different zones. It's a weapon that's only going to be better this season. Now, our final exotic on this list is none other than Fighting Lion. Now, I know it's not the only primary grenade launcher in the game now, thanks to Atlanthanium, but it is getting a buff. Bungie mentioned that Fighting Lion will now apply Volatile on direct hits. That may seem like a small, subtle change, but when we paired that with the Weaken on hits from Concussive Reload and Overload Grenade Launcher, I'm personally going to try to give it a go. Granted, the last time I used Fighting Lion was when it was bugged inside of PvE, and it was doing like 100,000 damage per shot. It's definitely not going to be at that level of potency, but I do believe its utility is going to go up. Now onto our final weapons, these being our legendaries. Let's start with our favorite heavy grenade launcher inside of PvE amongst legendaries, Edge Transit. A great DPS weapon, guys. It's going to make incredible use of Concussive Reload as well as kinetic impacts, giving it much more lethality without any setup. Many of us know that Edge Transit and Geos in general are fantastic. These artifact perks are only going to make them better, but Edge Transit puts out some of the highest DPS in the game. You got that bait and switch roll, especially with that Envious Assassin combo. Edge is only going to be better. Now I know you may be thinking, Cross, what about rapid fire grenade launchers? Graxus and Geos like it are getting a 7% damage buff. Look,
Wait,
I'm not
they're
gonna say they aren't
buffing the
good. We're
rapids?
gonna definitely damage test once these things go live, but I do believe Edge Transit is still going to be king. Now next in line is another favorite of mine, Lost Signal. Now if your reason for not using Witherhoard is because it's an exotic and it takes up your exotic slots, then look no further.
Lost Signal might be a
is
shout, actually. This
legendary
is that
stasis
stasis
breach-loaded
AoE
with
grenade
a
launcher.
unique aerial denial frame. It has the ability to spread out AoE damage. It has a number of good perks, and with it now having the ability to stun overload champions, it's now going to always be overcharged. Now it's not as potent as Witherhoard, but it's one of the best weapons for topping off that prismatic meter for darkness. And if you're looking for the gun roll, personally I find auto-loading holster and One for All to be fantastic. You can spread out that AoE damage, you can tag up multiple targets, and boom, now you got a 35% damage buff on top of the overcharged damage buff. Now our last special grenade launcher is kind of an old one, Lingering Dread. I mainly only bring this one up just in case you're an old returning player.
have to
Look
chill
through your
clip
vaults.
one?
You might have it. This is from the Duality Dungeon, and it's a stasis grenade launcher, and it has access to
One
roll.
sec. I know I have one. Because I use it occasionally, but do you still have one? I used to keep a blinding chill clip one lying around because it was really good utility for like GMs and stuff.
Eververse trades in goods we feel enhance a Guardian's journey.
Just go chill clip and see if we can find it. Exact perk chill clip. Pretty sure we did keep one. Here it is. Yeah. Chill clip blinding. This thing is probably going to be decent because it's already going to have a bunch of grenade launcher perks, and it's already, this has chill clip on it too, which applies like slow on here. Something to think about. This sniper that hasn't been mentioned by Cross, by the way, Till 2 has chill clip on it. With the buffs coming to snipers in general PvE, not against bosses, but against other stuff, that's actually probably going to be useful too. Has the ability to slow and unstop, remember?
Like Ambitious Assassin and Chill Clip. Now the latter perk is mainly why I have it here. Honestly, I recommend all weapons that have Chill Clip, considering the stasis synergy coming this season. So things like Deliverance, Critical Anomaly, Lingering Dread though, with Chill Clip, intrinsically can already stun overload champions. And that's due to its slow effect. However, you do miss out on that overcharged damage. There's some pretty good synergy though here with Lingering Dread and our artifact mods. However, I do believe it's going to be short-lived considering we're going to be getting a double fire stasis grenade launcher.
We're getting a double
also has access to Chill Clip. So we'll see how that plays out. Now lastly, the weapon I want to really vouch for here that was a phenomenal choice this past season is Curation. This is an Arc Pulse Rifle. in the heavy burst frame archetype. It boasts the highest primary DPS, even considering their 10% DPS nerf that they're about to receive in this next episode. But on top of its stellar performance, it has a fantastic role, that being Volt Shots, which can stun Overload champions, combined with perks like Eddy Currents. I know you may not like Eddy Currents, but guys, give it a try. Bungie did a rework to it, and I really like it. Now, despite Corrasion being very bad to me inside of PvP, here in PvE, it made up for it. This coming up season, it will have the ability to stun unstoppable champions. It will synergize with Trace Evidence, with Volt Shots, spawning in even more Onyx Traces, which is going to be great for topping off abilities. This was already a good gun, guys, and these perks are going to make them that much better. Those are our weapons we recommend for Revenants. For those wondering, how do you get some of these weapons? Well, some of these are old ones, but for the weapons this past season, I will have guides listed down below that you can click on for things like Corrasion and others if you're looking to farm them up right now. I do want to also mention that there's going to be a big focus on the new weapons, considering they're not only new, but they also have access to the new perks. And some of those perks look very juicy. If you're interested in what those weapons are and those redacted perks, feel free to check our video out, the weapon rolls we got to play with. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming in.
So there's a lot of perks coming, right? With the new guns, which are probably going to supersede a lot of the rolls for stuff here, right? Which is why I'm not that bothered about what he was just talking about here, to be fair. If you know what I mean, there's a bunch of shit. Yeah, he has this.
New Yakult Plus Peach, rich in vitamin C to support immunity and help lower fatigue, and packed with friendly bacteria.
With Admiral Multi-Cover, the more you cover, the more you save.
Today, we're going to be going over the new and reprised weapons that are coming with the launch of Revenant Act 1 next week. We got some hands-on time with some exotics, including the seasonal weapon and the armor. So if you
Yeah, there's guns coming, right? And they do matter.
to check out our other videos, links to those will be down below. Today, though, is going to cover some of the weapons we got to see, including the new traits on them and their different trait combinations. Now, do keep in mind, this isn't everything, but it is a fair amount, and some of these are looking absolutely juiced. Now, before we start diving into each one of these weapons individually, we need to first take a look at our brand new origin trait that will be on all of these seasonal weapons, that being Dark Ether Reaper. It reads that kills with this weapon periodically spawn Dark Ether charges. Charges can be detonated early with weapon fire or by coming into contact with them. Doing so refills the weapon from reserves. Now, I didn't get to test these extensively, by no means, so I don't have the exact number of how many kills are needed, but as soon as the new episode drops, we'll be deep diving into everything that you're about to see. But from what I gathered, at least from my experience, it seems to be somewhere between 4 to 5 kills. At the same time, I kind of found myself scratching my head a few times because it almost looked like they would spawn from just RNG. Now, once you get a Dark Ether charge to spawn, you'll then see an orb just floating in the air, which will last for around 6 seconds. Now, you can either shoot it or you can just come into contact with it. And if you do either of those, it will explode. At the same time, it will refill your magazine from reserves. Now, the interesting thing here is that at least on a primary weapon, it not only refills our magazine, but it also overflows it by about 50%. So this is a very strong origin trait. For instance, here on my hand cannon, which holds 8 shots, once I shoot the orb, I go from 2 shots all the way up to 12. Now, I didn't really spend much time with it on special weapons, so I'm curious to know if it actually overflows the magazine there as well. Now, as for the explosion, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it does any damage to enemies. This drag here was very close to it, and there was no damage numbers that popped up. However, it can do self-damage, as I have a clip here where I come into contact with it, and it then procs the new Titan Exotic Blast Wave Striders. Overall, though, guys, it seems to be a pretty interesting origin trait, and we'll be looking at it more deeply when the episode launches. Now, let's go over our 5 new seasonal weapons that are launching with Revenant. First up, we have Vantage Point. This is an arc adaptive frame pulse rifle, putting it in that 390 round per minute archetype. Now, I know these are not necessarily the most popular archetypes inside of Crucible, but they are pretty good inside of PvE. PvP. Their DPS is just
Why does
under
that
that
look
of our
like
heavy
bad
2-round burst
juju?
pulse rifles. Now, in terms of perks, in column 3, we have Deconstruct, To the Pain, Eddy Current, Keep Away, Stats for All, and also 2 brand new perks. One is called Lone Wolf, and the other is called Closing Time. Now, for Lone Wolf, it reads, slightly improves aim assist, aim down sight speed, and airborne effectiveness, increases these effects when there are no nearby allies. And this actually kind of reminds me of the Festival of the Lost Origin traits, which gives faster
Kinda
ADS
does.
and movement speed when no allies are nearby, except here, we get slightly increased ADS speed, and flat out just aim assist and airborne effectiveness just for using the perk. These effects only increase with no nearby allies. And this perk seems like it could be a pretty nice perk in PvP, especially in things like Rumble, or maybe if you're more of a lone wolf, perhaps you like to go for that flank, then by all means, here you go. Now, the other new perk in column 3 is called Closing Time. It reads that it improves range, accuracy, and handling as the magazine gets lower. Another perk that's tailored more toward PvP, and we have multiple perks in the game that actually improves the weapon
This is
as
an
you
old
get
D1
deeper in the
perk.
mag, from under pressure to high impact
renamed it.
reserves. And the way these perks work is they get stronger the deeper you go, like all the way to the final round. And if they're a good
It's like
enough
final
perk,
round,
they're actually
basically.
worth priming to, actually literally shooting your weapon down to the bottom half of your mag to take advantage of this trait. We'll be looking at both of these though next week. Now, our 4th column perks that are on this weapon include One for All, High Impact Reserves, which literally pairs nicely there with Closing Time, Desperado, Focus Fury, Swashbuckler, Head Seeker, and another new perk called Jolting Feedback. Now, this perk is interesting, guys. Quote, dealing repeated damage with this weapon
Oh, okay.
inflicts jolts. While amplified, jolt is applied faster. Now, I needed to play with the enhanced version of this, which states that dealing repeated damage with this weapon inflicts jolts at an increased rate. And this perk is essentially Volt Shots. However, you just need to
Don't
deal
need to
repeated
reload,
damage.
you just
No
shoot
kill
stuff.
required. So while Volt Shot is really good for ad clearing, this would be more useful for those tankier targets. It also seems like it doesn't need to be solely on a single target. As with a group of about 7 enemies here, it seems to proc on the 6th enemy and then proceed to spread jolt to the final ad that was in this group. So for strictly ad clear, I actually think Volt Shot is going to be better. But when coming across thicker targets, most notably this orange bar abomination, I was able to proc this perk in about 5 bursts, which then applied jolt to him and then spread to the nearby enemies. What this perk really says is, hey, find the thickest target on the battlefield,
Shoot
blow
it.
your load into them, and just keep going, as all the ads that get close to them will be getting tagged up. I very much look forward to seeing this weapon next week, comparing this perk directly to Volt Shots, but overall, this pulse rifle does seem like it's going to be pretty good in both PvE and even for PvP. For PvE, you got Eddy Current, you got Stats for All, you got Deconstruct in that column 3, you compare it with things like Jolting Feedback, One for All, or even Swashbuckler, and then for PvP, you got To the Pain, Lone Wolf, Closing Time, Keep Away, paired with things like Head Seeker, or even Desperado, which in the case of Desperado, we don't have many pulse rifles that have that trait. The only one I could think of off the top of my head is our Gambit pulse rifle yesteryear. So again, some unique things that are present here on Vantage Point. Next, we have Sovereignty. This is a void adaptive sniper rifle. In column 3, we have No Distractions, Demolitionist, Steady Hands, Explosive Payload, Discord, Dragonfly, and Inline Action. In our 4th column, we have Adrenaline Junkie, Firing Line, Harmony, Desperate Measures, Precision Instrument, Box Breathing, and another new perk called Withering Gaze. Now, Withering Gaze reads, aiming this weapon for a short period without firing grants the ability to apply Void Weaken to the next target that you
What the heck?
damage. Timer resets after firing or exiting zoom. Guys, this is pretty much free Weaken on demand. Like literally, aim down sights, boom. Which in my opinion is incredibly valuable. Now, in terms of other perks, you also have Demolitionist, Discord, Inline Action, Explosive Payload, which let me just say, it's good to see Explosive Payload in the 3rd column. It's a free damage perk, which means we can double stack, baby. And if you want to go more traditional rounds in column 4, we have things like Firing Line, Precision Instrument, Box Breathing, which is but I do believe the utility of Withering Gaze is going to be worth a look. Next up, we have a Stasis Aggressive Frame Hand Cannon, Ezuvier. Sexy! In column 3, we have To the Pain, Encore, Lone Wolf, Stats for All,
perk.
Keep Away, Triple Tap, and Rhyme Stiller. Now, this is a new addition to our Stasis perks, and it reads, destroying a Stasis Crystal or defeating a frozen enemy with this weapon grants you Frost Armor. Now, let me just say, for this particular season, this one right here is going to be nasty. Then for column 4, we have
Free
Desperate
damage
Measures,
resistance.
Frenzy, Redirection, Explosive Payload, One for All, Headstone, and Precision Instrument. Now, I think the obvious
Headstone.
go-to combination, at least inside of PvE, is probably going to be Rhyme Stiller and Headstone. And at least here on paper, it looks like it's going to beautifully synergize. For my PvP players, you've got things like To the Pain, Lone Wolf, hell, even Keep Away or Explosive Payload, combine that with Precision Instruments. Definitely something we're going to be looking at for both PvE and for PvP. Now, our next weapon is Liturgy. This is a Stasis double fire grenade launcher,
Yeah,
which
this
makes
is
it
the grenade
only
launcher.
the third double fire GL we have so far. But what makes this one unique is that it's the only one in the kinetic slot. In column 3, we have Slime Waste, Surplus, Rhyme Stiller, Strategist, Perpetual Motion, Quick Draw, and Envious Arsenal. Now, Envious Arsenal states that dealing damage with both
Rhinestone
other
would be
weapons
interesting.
before readying this weapon refills it from reserves. So kind of like bait and switch, except it just reloads your weapon. Not really sure if this is going to be the best pick for special weapons, but it definitely could be something you could utilize alongside your heavy, along with bait and switch. Then for our fourth column, we have Desperate Measures, One for All, Chill Clip, Harmony, Lead from Gold, Swashbuckler, and Chain Reaction. Now I'm sure most will probably want that Rhyme Stiller plus Chill Clip combo,
Yep.
and especially considering so much is focused around Stasis Synergy, this is probably going to be the combo I'm going to go for. Now you also have Slime Waste. This allows you to bypass reload, but keep in mind, Slime Waste does have a cooldown, unlike Slime Shot. I guess they both have cooldowns, but you know, one's longer than the other. Slime Waste, substantially longer than Slide Shot. Now Lead from Gold is also a pretty good perk in terms of ammo economy. You also got Chain Reaction in that fourth column. That makes it pretty unique, as this is the first Stasis special grenade launcher with Chain Reaction, but overall, a pretty interesting weapon. Now last on our list for Revenant weapons launching in Act 1, we have Insurmountable, a Void Precision Frame sidearm, which is pretty interesting considering we don't get many precision sidearms
Weird.
really ever. Now for our perks in column 3, we have Attrition Orbs, Demolitionist, Air
probably
Trigger,
in the
Lone
use
Wolf,
that much.
Repulsor Brace, To the Pain, and Threat Detector.
It does
for
have
our fourth column, we have
repulsor
One
base
for All,
destabilizing,
Surrounded,
though.
Rampage, Closing Time, Harmony, Destabilizing Rounds, and Desperate Measures. Now looking at this sidearm, it looks to be like the Void version of Heliocentric, which as you know, Heliocentric is one of the best sidearms inside of PvE. You've got that Hill Clip, Incandescent Roll, which is so good. On Insurmountable though, we have that Repulsor Brace Destabilizing Round Roll, which is going to be good considering we're also getting
already.
Void Artifact mods. Now if you didn't want to go that route, you also have good options like Demolitionist,
pretty good on, like, the
which is
Hunter
not bad,
Invis build,
One
honestly,
for All,
the
and
sidearm.
Surrounded as well. For PvP, you've got Air Trigger and Lone Wolf and To the Pain. Combine that with Closing Time. It's a pretty good options here. Now the next 3 weapons we got to go over are our reprised Season of the Splicer weapons.
What's
That's right,
coming
fellas.
back? Is it
Coming
the auto
back.
rifle?
And in my opinion, these were some of the best seasonal weapons ever.
From
And it's
Rush.
about damn time. Now the origin trait that's found on these weapons is called Splicer Surge. It reads that reloading this weapon after dealing damage grants the weapon a stacking reload speed and a handling bonus until stowed. Now pretty solid perk, especially in PvE, since anything that increases your reload speed is always great to have. Now I'm not really sure how many of these are returning. I just got to look at 3 of them so far. First up, we've got Ignition Code though. This is our kinetic lightweight grenade launcher. For our perks in column 3, we have Lead from Gold, Steady Hands, Permability, Slide Shot, Ambitious Assassin, and Unrelenting. In our fourth column, we have Vorpal Weapon, High Ground, Harmony, Reverberation, Strategist, and Frenzy. Now back in the day, this was a very sought after grenade launcher because it was, and actually still is, the only grenade launcher to roll with Slide Shot. Yes, we've had a few with Slime Waste, but only Ignition Code has Slide Shots, which means you'll be able to slide back to back, reloading that shot over and over. And you compare it with things like Vorpal, Frenzy, hell, even High Ground. Now while Slide Shot is probably going to be the best perk in column 3, you also have some pretty good other options. Lead from Gold is good, Ambitious Assassin is also good. So if you hate sliding, well there you go. Now next
Slide more.
up, we have one of my favorite auto rifles in the game, Chroma Rush. This is a kinetic rapid fire frame, and it was probably this auto rifle that made me fall in love
it
with this
got
archetype.
Tremors?
I will say there were a few others like Valakadin that definitely sold me, but Chroma Rush was the one that pulled many of us deep into the rapid fire frame
Tremors?
archetype. In column 3, we have To the Pain,
It has
Heating Up,
Tremors.
Subsistence, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Killing
That's
Wind,
the end
Tunnel
of
Vision.
that.
In our fourth column, we have Kill Clip,
Subsistent
Frenzy,
Tremors.
Rampage,
There we
Target
go.
Lock, Kinetic Tremors.
We need one
and
of
Tap the
those.
Trigger. Now, this thing is absolutely juiced for perks, guys. You're going to be able to enhance everything here. For PvP, you've got To the Pain, Heating Up, Dynamic
Wait.
Sway Reduction, Tonal Vision,
No, we
Killing
need
Wind.
that, so
Pretty
I
much
can
just
click
pick your
this till we
favorite.
get the
And then
good
column
stuff
4,
for
you
you.
have Kill Clip, Rampage, Target Lock. You can even go consistency here and go with Tap the Trigger. And then for PvP,
By the way, there's our better auto rifle in the kinetic slot. There's the thing we want. There's the thing I said was missing, by the way, from the sandbox was, this is a rapid 720 RPM, and it has tremors. This will be better than the origin story, technically, in PvE because of this, and it has subsistence, too.
PvE, that subsistence kinetic tremor roll is screaming at me. And this
Yeah.
was pretty unique
I
because
can
it's going to
see
be the
it
first
myself.
rapid fire auto rifle to get kinetic tremors. Now last, but not least, is a shotgun that I know many of you love, Sojourner's Tale. Now I never landed
Nobody
the god
likes
roll
that
for this
thing.
one, but I always wanted to. Inside of PvP, it was one of the most consistent slug shotguns in the game. In column 3,
But yeah, not joking. Been wanting one of those things, like, something better, and there you go.
We have Hill Clip, auto-loading holster, quick draw, moving target, discord, and offhand strike. In our fourth column, we have air trigger, incandescent, precision instrument, harmony, swashbuckler.
Sorry, I'm just trying to
and
get you the
opening
armor
shots.
while I'm
Now
doing
immediately
this,
I'm
by
looking
the
at
way.
that Hill Clip incandescent roll. The synergy there is just too beautiful. Not really something I would utilize on a slug shotgun, but who knows? Maybe it's pretty good. But what interests me the most here is precision instruments. This has never been present on a slug shotgun before.
Yeah,
you
that's
can combine
weird.
this with auto-loading holster. You could swap back and forth, literally land your shots, proc precision instruments, and continue that damage rotation. For my PvP players though, that quick draw or moving target roll combined with opening shots is going to eat people. I know a lot of people are very much committed to normal shotguns, but a good slug shotgun user catches so many people off guard. The Sojourner's Tale here is one of the best ones to do it. So guys, that's it. Those are our Revenant Act 1 weapons. Their perks, their origin traits, the new traits. Again, this is nowhere near close to all the weapons that are going to be launching, especially over the entire act. These are just the weapons we could share with all of you. We still got a new dungeon, world drops,
There's more
richer
weapons,
to
by
go
the way.
over,
They don't-
new
they
offerings for
can't
things
say
like
anything
Vanguard,
about them.
Nightfalls, Crucible, Trials, Gambit, etc. And as soon as we get our hands on all of
Or
those
didn't have
guys,
access
we'll be
to them.
discussing the God rolls for them as well.
So
Fellas and
there's
ladies, thank
more
you
shit
all for
coming. This hasn't
watching,
mentioned
and as
any of the
always,
dungeon weapons, like he says. Hasn't mentioned any of the Garden Salvation reprised weapons either, or Iron Banner trials and some other stuff. You know, the odd weapons that are coming back there. We already know there's a fucking stasis sidearm. We want immediately. Fucking Iron Banner, right? There's also a stasis glaive somewhere. The first glaive in the first primary slot. Again, glaives are probably dog shit, but like when it's the first time it's in a slot, you probably kind of want to get a hold of one. Because we don't have any glaives currently that go in this slot. Just in case. And that means it's going to be stasis or strand. It's probably stasis, right? So it does mean you want it. If it has chill clip, for example, on it, oh god. But anyway, chill clip glaive could go hard. So there's definitely stuff that could show up. It's worth a damn. I'm having so much fun. Fucking stupid engrams. I'm not even halfway through these yet. Oh, you want it off screen now. Is it still on screen? Yeah, okay, I'll get rid of it. Hang on. There you go, you happy now? Hey, it was worth having it there, okay? I know it wasn't the biggest thing, but you probably have it on a big screen anyway, so you're probably fine. What I'm doing is not that interesting anyway. It's mostly me playing delete Masio of fucking shitio. Fucking engrams. Alright. Where are we at? Gunsmith has one. Failsafe. I know there's still more shit. Fucking Gunsmith ranked up, by the way. There's mass amounts of shit still to go. I haven't dealt with the failsafe or the fucking Pale Heart engrams yet. Or even this fucking bitch. Stop flashing, Gambit Vendor. I really don't care. Alright, bitch with bird. Or bird with bitch, I'm not sure which. Might not be that. No, you're full of shit. I already know there's 99 in at least one of them. This isn't going down. Because the clan engrams, look. Finally they're gone. No, no, it's still not going down. It's still at 32. Oh my god. Go down! You have got to be kidding me. It's just not funny. We're about to rage quit. Okay, finally it stopped. She's gonna have a new card for Garden of Salvation. So there's gonna be the Last Wish one, and then there's gonna be a new card for Garden. So that's someone to check and get a hold of stuff on. It's gonna be how you get the red borders for the Garden of Salvation weapons, in addition to the ones that drop during the raid. Something to look forward to. It's just pick them up on the characters in general, just to have it ready. So, in case it isn't picked up, if you know what I mean. Because you're gonna need it at least on one character. You can only do one per week, so it just needs to be on one character. I think. Pretty sure that's how the Garden one worked. Sorry, not the Garden, the Last Wish one. Ah, God. You know, if there was actually some interesting loot in here, this would be more interesting. There isn't. This is literally just... there's occasionally weapons that might be worth a damn, but not really. Like that Rosa Adiago or whatever could have a good roll on it, that's why I stopped to look at it. So can the Crux, technically. Although not this one, because that's dog meat. But the vast majority of the shit that's been coming out of this... What the fuck is this? It's been terrible. If they had a better military, I probably would have kept it. This thing looks so weird. This scout rifle, like, there's no reason to ever have it, but the image for it looks so much better than the gun looks itself. Like the preview image here. The gun's just a standard scout rifle image, but the picture makes it look better than it is. My god, these engrams need to go burn in hell, Mark. You realize this, right? Why do you always... If you use these when you get them, you don't end up with 1 billion of them all at once. You know that, right? No? Okay, fuck off then. So dumb. Delete, 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 delete. By the way, an indication, right, of the power levels are kind of normalized for this season, right? Compared to, I know we're not as high as we were last season, right? But if you pay attention, you're around the same power level difference from like someone like Jake for example, who's only, I think Jake's only fucking 2028, by the way, and he plays non-stop, right? When it comes to Trials weekends. And you're always like within one power level of him normally. Or thereabouts, if you know what I mean. So even he's not like massively fucking, what's it called? Leveled. There's nothing down here, is there? This vendor is pissing me off. Why are you flashing? So you might not think you're relatively high, but like, why are you flashing? Is it because of this? No. Why are you flashing? What is wrong with you, you shit vendor? I hate this guy.
Don't die out there, sister.
I wish you'd die. Fucking Gambit, fucking asshole. Okay, pale hards. There's engrams here, and I know there is. And they're all shit, and we're literally just deleting them for the sake of deleting them. And then we've got to do something about these. Because you said they're not staying. Might be? Shut up. Failsafe's got 99, by the way. Just to point this out. Before I've even gone there. He's got another fucking assimilated beacon. That's funny. It's no use for you anymore. You've already got all the Radiolarius. There's no point using it. Oh yes, might be my ass. You know the worst part is? This is useless. Everything in here is useless. Because it's all the craftable stuff and the armor we don't care about. So this is literally just a straight, please delete me. Maybe we should try some of the armor. See if it's got stat rolls on it. Hang on. Not the class item though. Have a look. 61. Yeah. 58? Okay, no it doesn't. Okay, that was the end of that delusion. You can tell if it's high stat armor if it stays above, you know, the bottom threshold of 50s basically. If something drops a 50, it doesn't drop high stat armor. So I'm just like, nope. Not worth. Necrotic Star Eaters. You still don't have the fucking necrotic one you want. Isn't that Necrotic Star Eaters? Necrotic Star Eaters. Necrotic Star, yeah, it's because I got this. I remember this. This is the exact same as that, so it's going. Okay, all of that's gone. Nobody cares. Jesus Christ. Had to check if it was high stat or not, you know. Just in case, you never know. Not that armors matters that much. We're gonna have to tone down our armor collection. We've got enough armor to be happy for a while anyway, right? It's just the fact the armor system's getting thrown out the window at some point. And we're gonna need to regrind a bunch of armor anyway. Just, that's like future, like frontiers, if you know what I mean, like after the axe. So next year. But just bear it in mind that the armor system is just going in the bin, pretty much. To the point as in, we're going to have to regrind a bunch of our high stat armor, because it's going to be different high stat armor. And it's going to have perk synergies on it too, so it's going to matter what's on the armor piece too. So it's something like, we should tone down how much armor we're collecting beyond what we need now. Because otherwise we're just going to fill the vault with armor that just needs to be erased. Right? I'm being serious. Although we only keep the highest of high stats armor these days anyway. Usually it's like 68, right? But it's just something to bear in mind that everything beyond is just not going to be worthwhile. We have enough high stats armor to make any build we want, you see, with decent stats. You already I think you realized this already. Like, usually all your fucking builds have like really high synergy stats anyway. Make poor Epic's armor look like dog shit. But yeah, it's just something to keep in mind that we shouldn't like keep storing mass amounts of armor, because it's just gonna end up with mass amounts of deleting when it comes to like next year. And whose fault is that gonna be, yours? And who's gonna end up having to delete all that armor? Probably. It's just probably better to just put a stop to it now. Yeah, fuck off. You know what I mean? It's probably better to just put a curb on it now so it just doesn't get out of control in the first place. By all means, if you see 68 or higher stats armor, especially exotic armor as well, keep a hold of it. But everything, because they haven't said anything about exotic armor yet, right? As in, they haven't got a solution yet for it, so we don't know what they're doing about that. They're doing something really bad, though, right? That they stopped doing, right? Because everyone complained about it. They're putting stats on the class item again. Which people didn't want stats on the class. There's a reason they took stats off the class item because of how dumb it was to constantly get class items. So now they're putting stats back on the class item in Frontiers. It's like they don't learn any lessons. What are they going to do? Put stats on the Ghost Shell too? Just to piss us off again? There were reasons that stats were removed from these two things. Like RNG stats. Because they're some of the most like pain points to try and get a hold of. In fact, this shouldn't even have a power level, in my opinion. The class item should have just been a neutral item with no power on it. The power should have been focused in these four. And honestly, exotics shouldn't even need to be fucking powered. They should just go up. So what actually should have happened is your exotics should have been auto-powered to the latest expansion, right? So these should just go to 2010, and then you should have to deal with the other three pieces of armor, and this shouldn't have any power. But now, this is Bungie's fucking retardedness, so we have to grind everything. Alright, failsafe time. More useless armor. This stuff I might be able to buy high stat stuff with, though, we'll see. These are not coming back, right? Think works there? Nobody works there. People just want... Nobody wants to work there, I promise you. Unless you want to get fired. Want to get fired? Work at Bungie. Pete needs more cars. I'll pick that up at last, because I can't get rid of it right now. Yeah, they say that, but you never know. Besides, they're at 99. I think this can be focused into armor, though. Let's try. No class items, though. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, okay, this stuff looks like it can focus into higher stat armor. Okay, yeah. Let's look for some 68s from this mark. It's worth doing. It also wastes them a bit quicker, so while getting stuff we might want, you know. We could also focus into weapons here. Have you got the Martyr's Retribution yet? The roll on it? Remember, there are grenade launchers coming next season. Oh, I don't want information on the gun. That's not it, is it? That's it. No, you don't. We should probably focus that first, then. Why is there a bunch of shit in the Titan's Poster Master that I just saw? Did you use the Titan? You're a bad person. See if we can get the fucking roll on this. Which is heel clip incandescent. Is what we're looking for. This is worth doing. Because remember, while it is going to be a stasis season, it's also a grenade launcher season, right? And your other classes could still use solar and things like that for certain activities, so having a solar grenade launcher that synergizes with the ignitions might not be the worst thing in the planet, right? See, there's heel clip desperate measures. So yeah, there is a point to doing this. Because you don't have the roll yet. Which I did not know. Doing it 3 at a time. Don't want to do too many more, just in case you get the roll in. I can just put them back into armor. Or one of the other weapons. The gunsmith engram, really? Heel clip incandescent, there we go. Okay, good enough. Are there any other weapons here that are worth a damn? Let's have a look. Breach light, maybe. No, I don't care enough. Alright, armor time. Only keeping like 68s, so... What I'm trying to do. Yes, you were. That's why I just dealt with it for you. This is why I'm useful sometimes. I figure I go check for something, go get something, and use the resources to get it that we have at our fingertips that we're just wasting for the end of the season anyway. They're both 68. Are you fucking for real? Yeah, I mean, that's not relevant to us. We're probably not going to fire this game up again tomorrow. Are we? We're doing this because we're intending not to fire the game up. So we're just getting everything out the way now. Didn't delete. No, fucking stupid. Fucking. Stupid puzzle game. It's less fog and more puzzle plus random shit trying to kill me. I don't even know how far we are through the game. Gonna be honest with you, I have no clue. I just know a bunch of shit's trying to kill me. I don't remember Silent Hills being short games though. Yeah, I don't remember them being like especially short. If I'm honest, so you shall see. I'm just getting rid of that 1 engram. You'll get more of these shit engrams probably next season anyway, right? Since this shit isn't going away, probably. So they said. We shall see. I don't believe them sometimes, right? Alright, let's go throw this 68 stat armor in the fucking hole. It's actually not bad armor. On the whole. That's really low mobility, so that's good. Oh, it's 68. Yeah. Okay, let's pick up the engram from here and then get rid of it. At the tower. Let's make failsafe goes to prestige rank 8. Don't worry, I know. Is that's the engram fucking messed out with mostly now, isn't it? Ugh, now I gotta deal with the fucking vault. Bullshit, what have you done to the vault? We're about to find out. Is it only 18 hours? I mean, is that what you're saying the game is? Yeah, but you can get lost very easily wandering around for like an hour in that game too, Mark. Trust me. I know. It's happened already. So you wanted this, didn't you? Like I said, with it being the grenade launcher season, this is worth having. So, in case like you want to run like a solo warlock or something, even with it being stasis, running this on a Dawn Chorus would not be terrible. With the enhanced bones and stuff like that. Just because a season has mods for a specific thing doesn't mean all the old builds can go out the window sometimes. You'll see me pull out old builds sometimes and use them. Just because they're still good. Alright. I'm just enhancing this. Get it ready for use just in case it's, you know, needed. There we go. But we got you the GL. That's a good thing, right? In the vault it goes by. I have to deal with this goddamn vault, don't I?
Shooting out there.
Oh yeah, I came here for a reason. I picked up an engram and now I have to get rid of the engram.
Ah, shall we begin then?
You're 68 or above and you get capped. You are not. Okay,
Guardian.
reset the gunsmith and do the same thing again.
Yep.
What can I do for you, Warlock?
So annoyed. Oh, I have to do it there, don't I?
What can I do for you, Warlock?
What can you do? You can die. Stag. Try not to fill the fucking postmaster with shit. Game just doesn't want to fucking comply. Alright. Leaving that in there, by the way, because it's in there. Why are you flashing? What is wrong with you?
Ah, one of our brightest returns.
In these things. I hate them flashing. Okay?
This was made
You happy now, Shax?
about, Warlock.
Okay.
Until next
Good little
time.
bitch. Why are you...
I am at your service.
Real? You might have a few enhancement cores, by the way, Mark. Just a few. Just saying. Alright. You're flashing because I have engrams. You're flashing because you're a pain in the ass. The Gambit vendor is no longer flashing. I'm so lost. Okay. Why is this in here? Oh, no, it's not. Does this have any purpose being in here? It does not. Envious Assassin might be. If you're gonna get this, at least get the roll with accelerated coils on it, or don't. Jesus Christ, there are 3 of these in here. I'm not gonna worry about that. If it's upgraded, it's upgraded. This does have headstone. Problem is, it doesn't have chill clip. If this was a chill clip roll, right? It would be nice. Whatever, we'll leave it. It's not gonna take up that much space. Rapid hit, explosive. Nah, I don't care about it. There are better scouts. All right. Zen Moment Desperado. This was the PvP god roll. Under Pressure Hatchling is not anything special. Neither is that. Neither is this. I was gonna say, you okay, Bungie? Neither is that. No perks came up when I selected the weapon. There is that. Do you have the god roll for this in PvE too? You might have. I'm looking for it in case you don't. I think you might have already. We'll see. It's like Unravel plus fucking Hatchling normally. On Warlock? No, is it here already? Slice Hatchling. Oh, you do? Okay, I can wipe these out, Mark. They don't need to exist. You have both the rolls that are worth having from this, right? None of these need to be here. Right? You don't need more of them. I promise. There's 0 point. These are just taking up inventory space for the sake of it, right? So I'm just nuking them now, alright? As I said, no point. Just wasting inventory space. Since you already have the 2 rolls that are worth having for this, there's no reason to ever go getting another one of these ever again. What's the Slice Hatchling? We don't need this. Demo Headstone. This might come in handy next season. This hand cannon, by the way. This is a grenade generating monster hand cannon. It would stasis if we're running stasis stuff. Should definitely keep a hold of that. So look there. This one's not so great though. This one can go in the bin. I'm just trying to get you some vault space where I can get vault space from, you know. No point hanging on to stuff. You're probably, what the frick? So many repeated guns sometimes. It makes me salty. They should have let us enhance the weapons from these dungeons, but they haven't yet. Kind of annoyed about, to be honest. This trust. Onslaught subsistence is good. Onslaught rewind rounds is also good, to be fair. Okay, I won't erase that off the hand. This is a good one. This is not. Is this upgradable? It's not. Okay, but this can go away. The vouchsafe. How many rocket sidearms are in here? Beacon rounds surrounded. You can go in the bin. Enlightened action surrounded. You can also go in the bin. This had a purpose for use. I don't think it does anymore because we're getting more sidearms with different elements now that we don't need to use a permeability sidearm anymore. So I'm going to get rid of this. The only reason we had it was to, when we were changing its element to a different element, right? To use it on, like, void builds, for example. We don't need to do that anymore. We're going to get, you know, sidearms that help. You already have a heal clip incandescent summoner, so I don't think this one needs to exist. What's this? Subsistence incandescent. I'm pretty sure you have the heal clip incandescent one. You do. Goodbye, Luna's Howl. So much shit in here. Shadow Price. Surplus Vault Shot? Not the worst I've seen. The other one can definitely go in the bin, though. Archer's Tempo, Archer's Gambit. Archer's Tempo, Explosive Head. I mean, the Explosive Head one's probably the best here. It's just a matter of which one's better. What do we got? Compact Arrow Shaft. Tactile Stream, Polymer String. The other one. Well, this one has Elastic String. And it has Draw Time. Okay, the other one's gone. Yeah, okay, these can go. If this has something fantastic on it, it does not. This one's fine. I went for the faster drawing bow, so that you can bring the draw time on down even further on this with the draw time masterwork. So, alright, what about the undercurrent? Stats for all vault shots actually, or demo vault shots actually pretty decent on this. Want to show me what perks are on this? This is also demo, so now I have to decide if the other perks we're having. What's this? Blast radius? What's this? Velocity. What does this need? Probably keep the second one. I don't know, Stats Roll is actually a good switch perk, because it has demo as well. Actually, this one's probably better. Okay. Lock that. You need like 2 of these. They're identical. Alright, you're going in the bin. Stabilizing, kill clip. Already got the good roll on that. The rest of these can just go away. If it had the repulsor, the stabilizing, I'd keep it. It doesn't. Oh god, give me another gunsmith engram. God fucking damn it. Why are you in here? I wonder about the shit you put in here. Really do. What have upgraded grenade launchers? A lot of grenade launchers that can probably go in the bin now too. Some of these were kept, but they don't have impact casing. Sorry, spike grenades, so they're kind of worthless now. That's spike grenades. So is that, right? So these three can definitely go. Repulsor. This was a fun sword. Just repulsor destabilizing. We'll keep a hold of that. Scintillation. So we're looking at auto loading on this, possibly. Rapid hit. A slice. Oh, it has rewind. Rewind's the perk. Okay, now we just need a damage perk. Any rewind? Anything else here? Rewind bait and switch? I mean, that's the end of that. Is this accelerated? It is. Why the hell are you using enhanced battery? Just fire quicker. Envious firing line? Oh, it has rewind too, technically. Does not have. Keep that one too, the rest of them can go. Just in case we need a strand fusion, you know. Linear. Never know. Probably not. Alright. I missed this in my little pass through. This doesn't have impact. It's that. You at least do. Sound cartridge, explosive impact casing. Okay, the other random one can just go in the bin. Chain rate of the slammer. Is any of these gonna... cold steel rolls here, I guess. What about you? Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna keep the cold steel roll. The rest of them can go in the bin. Oh god. I think I can exalt. Like, you haven't done something to the exotics, have you? Yeah, you have. I have to check them. Hate everything. I'm literally just keeping the highest stat of everything. I'm just nuking everything that's not 68 mark. If I'm honest, I shouldn't have to look at anything that's already upgraded now. These come from the dungeon. Where did this come from? Probably so, right? Whatever. Gone. So if it's already upgraded, I don't really need to look at it. If I'm honest. Chances are upgraded armor is stuff we've already set aside to use. For something. You can see most of this stuff is like 60 here, 69. Don't know what's going on there. It's got a thing on it. Hang on. What are you? 70? Okay. 65 shards are in the bin. I mean, sometimes we use lower stats armor. That's only because we don't have anything else. And we usually buy them at the time when we need them. But this is like pre-kept armor, just in case. So all of this is just going to be kept at a high stat. Because there's no point hanging onto a low stat roll anyway. When we could just go... We could farm rolls on stuff, to be fair. If we ever need it. Desperately, if you know what I'm saying. We just target farm something. I'll keep these. No, I won't. You know why I won't keep these? Because they're Warlock and they have 22 fucking mobility. So, no. Also, don't care. I was thinking of keeping them, then I saw the mobility stat, you know, on a Warlock. A stat we don't ever need. And that's why they went bye-bye. Like I said, this armor's gonna get, like, completely blasted at some point, but it'll be towards the end of next year. Why the hell is there a 52 in here, Mark? Times 2. We'll gut this completely when the new armor's coming, probably. Once we know more about how stats are going to change, or at least after the new armor drops, we'll gut it, probably, right? Fucking blame you for those 52s, motherfucker. This is just to make sure you have enough space for stuff to move around anyway. Your vault's not in any real danger at the moment, to be fair, but we're just making sure it stays that way for a bit. Just in case. I mean, it's at 626 or 700, so it's very easy to overflow the vault if you just keep putting shit in it. 67. But for now, I'm just nuking out everything that's kind of obvious. 54, really, Mark? I know you did it. Because I don't put stuff like that in the vault. I just delete shit like that on site. I'm like, hey look, a 50 stat armor. It's already gone. Too many exotics in here. That's why they're going on a diet. We're nearly through all this now anyway, Mark. I'm nearly done. This is pretty much the final cleanup, and then I'll clean up the gunsmith again. Like the 50th time, and then set the engrams correct. We've got to pull the stuff from collections. Since they're going, right? From from the season pass thing. Then we should be good. And I should. You're not playing on this anymore, right? You're done till after reset, yeah. What the hell? Fucking solve the class. I can't do anything about these right now. Jesus, there's fucking more of this shit in here. You're done till reset, good, okay. The thing you'll have to do at reset is you'll have to turn in an exotic engram minimum on any character you intend to play on, right? These will be full, but after reset, turn in an engram at least so you have space for stuff to not go to the postmaster. Am I being clear on that, Mark? You must do that, okay? You must go to the Cryptarch and turn in 1 engram. Minimum. Right? At reset. It'll go towards his rank up, right, when you turn it in. So don't worry about that, but you must turn in at least 1 on any character you intend to play on. It depends, right, on if the rank up's helping, then you should turn most of them in, at least to level him, right? What I do is I turn in at like 5 on each character and see where it gets you, right? It keeps them on the characters in case we want to pull new armor. So I turn in like 5, and then go to the next character, turn in another 5, and go to the next character, turn in another 5, and see what rank he is. Don't use all the engrams on a single character. Okay? Because we might want to hang on to an engram or 2 to pull the new armor. With a decent stat roll. If we can. Okay? If we need to rank him to be able to pull it, if it takes all the engrams, then we'll go get more engrams. But until that case, I just want to hang on to a few. Okay? Okay, whatever. I'm just telling you, okay? Just giving you that warning so you don't like kill the characters. Well, you know, postmasters. As you know. It's what is this? 67. It's gone. I don't care. Alright. I dealt with the postmaster. I think it's fine now. All the duplications are gone. All the armor's sorted out for now. The class items, there might be duplicates in here. I don't like. It doesn't matter. We'll deal with that whenever. Not a big deal.
What do you need?
More of these fucking engrams in here. Anything I can waste these on? There isn't. Somehow we got 6 more engrams in the fucking gunsmith, by the way. Just to annoy the shit out of me. I have a feeling you're probably just going to start on your warlock playing anyway. Maybe. It's the easy mode character with the turrets. All the turrets. Pretty safe to start there. Yeah, easy mode character because you can just use all the turrets, even with a stasis subclass thing. Just turrets, turrets for days, more turrets, all the turrets. All right. Do I need to do anything else, or am I pulling the? I'm pulling the stuff out of the season pass now, aren't I? We're just emptying this. I'm assuming because you said this is gone. Oh god, there's more fucking echo engrams in here. My god. Make it stop. I know, I'm holding on to the last exotic engram until otherwise I can't pull these. If I pull the exotic engram, I can't pull anything else. Yet. So I'm pulling every fucking thing else.
We should forget about fighting them on the ground. Go for their supply lines.
Should we get everything out of this? And I'll start doing the exotic engrams. Okay.
Welcome back.
The worst part is it put more failsafe engrams there, so I've got to go deal with that now. They're not 68, so I don't care, by the way. Plus, I don't care that they're 2,000, because we're going to be going above 2,000 anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Always.
Okay. Helm. No, actually, I'll stay here for a sec. How many engrams are in here? 1, 2, 3. There's more fucking guns. Fucking damn it. Alright, stop pulling the other shit.
Ah, shall we begin then?
Obviously I'm gonna pull the last exotic and leave it. That won't be until I'm done with everything. So the one on 193 is getting left.
What cipher is this?
Osteomancy, are you any good? You are not. Jesus, how many fucking things are in this? Onstein. 67, nearly. More engrams in there. Season pass continues. Jesus. Didn't know there was so many in here. Farm so many fucking engrams in the fucking Lost Sector if we knew we had to get rid of these. Just saying. This could have filled a character on its own.
Excuse me. Ah, shall we begin then?
Any good? These are being buffed, and this is a really interesting role, if I'm honest. But it's 66. Fuck it, no, don't care. Hate doing that, but what can you do? Rules are rules.
Guardian. I'm very curious to see what you've got for me to crack open.
I'm gonna be ranking this fucker up some more. This is... Yeah, we might. And if we don't, we'll just buy more anyway. I don't worry about exotics that much, because we focus and get more anyway. Right? And we can farm Lost Sectors for them now too, for the engrams. And you've seen, like, you can farm exotic engrams in Lost Sectors and then focus them into what you want. So it's not even that big a deal. If we want to get an exotic, we'll just do that, right? When it comes to it, rather than worry about, you know, anything.
What cipher is
So
this?
I don't care that much about it, to be honest. It's not like I'm just like getting rid of something we couldn't possibly have got back, if you know what I mean.
Let's see what
And generally we want high stat stuff anyway. Otherwise we'd be keeping all the exotics. Alright, I think we're near the end now.
A transaction to make, Guardian?
Osmancy, any good? 65, and they have too much mobility. You're out of here! How much more crap have you put in here for me? 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of those. Your enhancement core collection just goes up and up and up. Really does. From all this shit. Okay, nothing here. That's part of the reason we delete all this crap, is all the support materials you get. We used to get legendary shards, and then we'd have a really big legendary shard number, but we're not even allowed to do that anymore. Alright, failsafe time. And then I get to plug this up and call it a day. Because we are done. There's the last engram, by the way. Ready to go in the inventory. Everything's been pulled now. I'm just going to deal with the last couple of engrams that managed to creep back into failsafe. Which we'll try and pull for armor. We'll do these 3. We already got like some 68 helmet. Yeah, they do. We set those up already. Shouldn't have even been touching those characters, Mark. Yeah, look. Someone's been playing on the Titan when they shouldn't have been, though. Because I can't take these out, so these are just going to have to stay in here till Tuesday, till tomorrow now. Because the engrams are full. I can't remove these. Okay, but yeah, these characters are full. The Hunter and the Titan are both full, Mark. Ready to go. Okay. Here, I'll undim it so you can see it better. There, see, look, they're all full. Warlock has an extra exotic engram in the inventory. I'm just going to leave it there. Some of these were like, I might have to go to these characters just to delete some shit. It's just the Titan, isn't it? Okay, I'll go to the Titan and erase the armor in his inventory in a minute. Right. It's nothing that bad, though. Alright, Warlock is dealt with. The Hunter's fine. I checked. I could see the Hunter there. Alright. The Warlock is full. No more playing. It was just the Titan had a few things on it. I can't do anything about his Postmaster. I'm not even going to try. They'll just have to wait. I'm just going to wipe out the stuff that's randomly in here. $70, $66, $62, you guys can go. Right. Oh, well, one more engram in there. There's nothing I can do about it now. Get fucked. It's 1 engram. I don't care. This duplicate. Severance Synthos. Severance Synthos. It is actually a duplicate. Alright. We're ready. I think. There's nothing else now, right, Mark? That's it. They're all dealt with. I looked at the Hunter real quick for any, items. There was not really, so it's fine, right? Like I said, I can't do anything about these engrams right now because he's full. No, the Hunter's fine. I checked already. He's got no non-upgraded exotics. The only things are class items, and I'm not really going to touch those. Because I don't know what's a duplicate and what's not. What I'm just going to do is just do this. They can just sit in there. There you go. Right. Unless it's just this. What is this? 64. There's 1. I missed 1. There you go, right? Happy now? It's already gone. As soon as it comes in here. Oh, I missed some other shit on the Titan, actually. Because I didn't recognize their symbols. What is this? 66? You're dead. What have you got? What stats are you? 68, you get to stay. 70, you get to stay. 66, you get to go in the bin. Alright, that's it, I think. That's gone already, I deleted it. It's a class item. Fine, I'll get rid of that too. You happy now? Like, I've literally cleaned out everything, okay? Alright, we good now, Mark? Is there anything else? Because we can't play, so that's it now. Characters are filled, they're ready to go. You good? Yes, no? Yeah, okay. Vault's pretty okay. Vault's got like 80 spaces, it'll be fine, right? There's probably some duplicates in these class items. I'll have to check them more thoroughly at some point, right? But right now, that's not worth it, right? They'll be okay, right? For now. They can just sit there. These are getting reworked at some point anyway, so I just don't care, right? Everything else in here, I checked all the armor already. I went through most of the weapons and weeded out most of the duplicates, as you can see now. There's things I would normally delete that I haven't because you cry if I do, which is like your triple fucking Polaris Lances and shit, but anyway. Because you like to have one on each character, and it annoys the shit out of me, because I usually just have one. There's like 3 fucking of these things. Yeah, fuck you, Mark. Fucking, where's the other Wither? There's 2 here. Where's the 3rd one? There's a 3rd one somewhere. There has to be, unless I've wiped it out, right? Which is a possibility. Sometimes I just delete stuff for spite. When there's like, all the exotics, when there's like 3 of them, I'm just like, nope. Get the fuck out of here. I think I did delete it. I get spy, but I'm just like, why the fuck do you have 3 of these? Get the fuck out of here. I never delete anything important though. It's not like you can't pull another Wither out of the fucking thing anyway, if you wanted to, just to piss me off, right? Because you definitely could. You just put it from collections, honestly. It would have to have been infused anyway, so it's not like you lost anything. We're gonna have to bring everything up to 2010 that we're using at some point. So that's something. So even if we level up rather quickly, we want all the infusion material from all this. If we still get to 2010 rapidly somehow, right? We're still gonna want everything we can do. Once we hit 2010, that includes the powerfuls, just to feed them into everything, right? You start just infusing everything. Remember, Mark? Once you hit the cap, and you can just start pulling all the things. You just start throwing it into everything, right? We just start like making everything 2010. So there's no sort of like, oh, we hit the level, now we need to stop. It literally is, okay, now everything goes into everything, right? And then you keep playing anyway for level, right? Because there's so much stuff in here that needs to be 2010 that we gonna have to do it anyway. Okay, this is done. I'm tired enough of this. I'm sick of it. I'm calling it. Okay? We're good. Right, I don't think there's anything else we need right now. And there's enough exotic engrams in here that Xur should level, probably, anyway. There's even an extra one in here. And that's not counting any engrams we can pull from the Season Pass, because we will make ranks on the Season Pass, too. So, yeah, if I remember to wake up. I'm just kidding. Yeah, okay, 11. Okay, back tomorrow. Time to shut this all down. Alright. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna shut the stream down. What is this complaining about? I don't care about this. I'll be back tomorrow, Mark, with stuff and things. But I'm gonna close the stream for now and call it. Bye-bye!